Hey, what's up, everyone? Nate, and I'm back with another Out of the Theater review. Now, this is a little bit late because this movie came out a couple weeks ago. It opened same time as Gladiator, so that was the first one I saw. I finally got around to seeing Wicked, the number one movie. Well, it was the number one movie in America. I know Moana 2 passed it past weekend, but a big phenomenon. Everybody went to see it. I finally got around to checking it out. I'm going to give you my 2 cents on it. Before I do, if you would, of course, please consider subscribing to the channel if you're not already, and hit the bell icon. That way you get notified every time new videos drop. Also, if you wouldn't mind just giving me a thumbs up down below, helps the video out, and leave me a comment on your thoughts on Wicked. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to be, I know I'm not going to be in the minority or in the majority with my thoughts on this movie, most likely. But I did not love this movie. And I've never seen the Broadway musical. I have seen some Broadway musicals before. I've never seen this one. I was not familiar with any of the songs. I had a few friends who told me like they knew that they were familiar with the songs, even though they hadn't seen the show. This is not one of those musicals for me. There are other ones where like I've heard songs from them, but I never saw them. This is not one of those. I did not know any of the songs except for the one that's been like in all the advertisements and the Target commercials and the movie trailers and the everything. So besides that, I had no prior experience with this movie, with this storyline. I will say I love The Wizard of Oz, the original Wizard of Oz, an absolute classic. I'm a fan of that movie. And also from what I knew going into this movie, I'm not the biggest fan of this style of story where they take a villain or you take a character that's very well known or, historic and then change, sort of what they are fundamentally. Something like Maleficent, something like Cruella. Disney does this a lot, apparently. Like, I don't like when they take evil characters and then make them sympathetic or like that I'm supposed to relate to them or something like that. It's not my cup of tea. However, I still was going to give this a fair shot no matter what, because I feel like that's how you should go into every movie is clean slate. Show me what you got and maybe I'll like it. There are things in this movie that I did enjoy. I think the production of the film is great. Like, it looks great. The sets are fantastic. Another thing is I heard a lot of people making a big deal about, they didn't want to use a lot of CGI. There's a crap ton of CGI in this movie. So I have no idea what they were talking about. Yeah, there's sets, sure. And there's also a ton of CGI. So it's a mix. But the physical sets do look great. I think the production design is great. I thought the cast was good. Cynthia Erivo as Elphaba, I thought she was actually really good. I love the way she sang. Great voice. Ariana Grande, I'm not a big fan of her music or her in general, like outside of movies. And I've never seen her much as far as acting. She was okay. She did make me laugh a few times. Her character was pretty funny. So that's fine. I don't love the way she sings, especially if she's singing in like a falsetto. I don't understand the words she's saying sometimes. So not my favorite, but she sings well, obviously, very well. And then the rest of the cast, like Jeff Goldblum was cool. Michelle Yeoh was fine. They have to sing. They're not great. So yeah, I mean, the cast was good. The production design is good. I don't love this storyline. Like I mentioned before, stories like this in general, I'm not crazy about. And this one in particular, I wasn't crazy about. Like, I didn't find anything to really latch on to personally. Others apparently are, and that's great. But for me, like, it's a pretty basic, like, love triangle and a story about friendship that, one is on one side, one's on the other, and they have some problems and like nothing special to me. I didn't find anything truly incredible here. I think if you're a theater lover, a Broadway theater, musical theater fan, there's a lot here for you. And if you don't love musical theater, I just could not really get into it as much. I think, when I walked out of the theater, I was like, that was pretty good. And then the more I thought about it, like over the day, I was just kind of like, you know what? A lot of that did not work for me. It did not work for me. And ultimately I didn't like it. Also, the songs, I don't even like most of these songs. I think 2 of them are pretty good. Other than that, and I don't have a problem with musicals. Musicals are fine. There's some that I really love. There's some that I don't like. I mean, just like any other genre of any other movie. I didn't like the songs in this movie, most of them. So I don't know. I think a lot of people are going to love this movie obviously they already do. And I understand it. Watching it, I'm like, I get why some people like it. I don't see it the same way. I didn't really like it that much. Like I will see part 2 to see how this wraps up, but I don't think I would ever watch this one again. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. And that's mostly because it is a well-made movie. So I'm not going to sit here and give it like a 3 or a 1 or something, you know. Just I didn't love it. It's not the best story in my opinion, and the songs didn't do much for me, but they're all executed very well. The singing is very good. The music, the dancing is great. The production design is great. It's a well-made movie, so I'll give it a 5, but I didn't really like it that much. Anyway, I will be back next week with another Out of the Theater review, and until then, take it easy.